When you have a company, there are so many different expenses. With all these expenses, we have to get an income of over $30,000 per month.
We make 2 videos a week? So like all of my time, like everything. I don't have time for anything else. Like,
You know you have to get a certain amount of money every month to be able to survive.
So when a music artist called Alejandra Tabita called us and asked us if we could make her a music video, we only had enough budget to shoot for 2 days. So we had to think a bit creatively on how we could solve this.
So this artist from Cuba called Alejandra Tabita, she wanted us to produce a music video for her new song called Nama. Unfortunately, her budget was too low for us because we wanted to make something professional and we have to include a lot of people. So we had to figure out something because we really wanted to do this for her.
If we make behind the scenes of the music video, we could maybe make a video for our YouTube channel where we have some sponsors and we show the sponsors' gear and how we use that equipment to make the music video.
I was in contact with a company called Axun and they create wireless transmitters, and they just released some new products called Axun Cine i2S Pro and Cine i2. And we also talked with Blackmagic Design, and they wanted to support the project as well.
The budget we had for the music video made it possible for us to hire the entire Views crew for 2 days. So Matthias was the cinematographer, Kim was the first AD and coordinator, Anders was the director, Juni Maria was the production assistant, and I was filming the behind the scenes and doing a bit of focus pulling. Additionally, we also hired Dina on makeup and Daniel Yu as a gaffer. Also, we had 2 friends of ours, Andreas and Kyle, to work as production assistants.
Yeah, well, we have to ask some friends to join. And the best way to get people involved to your project is, of course, to pay them. But that's sometimes a bit hard, you know, you don't always have a budget. If you have friends that you ask to join and you have a good time on set, you have bought food on set, the time schedule is not too stressful, and show the appreciation, you know, let them know that they did a great job, that you appreciate that they are there, they will come back because they have a great time. As the song was in Spanish, I didn't understand anything. Luckily, she translated the whole song and we had some meetings to just discuss the story, because I really like to add stories to the music videos. Isn't it always nice with a little bit of story and not just performance?
Yeah.
This is gonna be great. It's a catchy song.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I hope so.
The story for the music video was to be shot on 4 different locations, and we only had 2 days to shoot, so then 4 locations are okay, especially if they're close next to each other.
We were quite in a hurry, as usual, because we needed to start shooting the music video in just 1 week, because that was the date when it worked for everyone, the artist, the crew, etc.
It's interesting because she's actually working in this bar next to our office.
I am.
Yeah. I wanted one of the scenes to play out inside a flat. Actually, our neighbor, Facundo, who's a sound designer, he knew someone who had a flat just close to our office. So that was great because when you have locations close to each other, it's much easier to change locations in 1 day. Okay, so the cool thing about new phone cameras is that you have 3 lenses. So when you're on location and you want to test out different angles or different lenses, you can do that. So the idea for the scene in the flat was to have like a one tracking shot towards a bed or couch, where we do kind of a time lapse within the shot. So it's maybe 8 to 10 different days. The flat looked okay, but it wasn't the type of mood and atmosphere that I wanted. Of course, we could always change that with lighting and some props, but we didn't have much time. So I asked myself, could we make a bedroom inside our studio at the office? And if we could do that, we could actually just change location even faster. We only have half a day shooting inside the flat, so if we had the studio, we have more control. more time we can use on the lamps and the scenery. Yes, let's make a bedroom inside the studio. Alejandra, if you do 7 or more, the music video will be great. Okay?
I need some training for this. Fine, we are gonna be so fine.
It was just 2 days until the shoot and we needed to prepare the equipment. So we wanted a lot of camera movements, so we needed a director's monitor where we could pull focus. And for that we needed a solid and fast wireless transmitter.
We had actually been using the S2E6 CNI product before on different projects. It was really nice because when we shot commercials we could always send the Wi-Fi signal of the video from the camera to the clients and they could use their phones and tablets and 10 people could see the footage at the same time. We also used it when we shot a commercial on an airplane, which I've shown on this YouTube channel actually, where I pulled focus while watching the signal on an iPad. So I was very happy when I saw that they created a new product that was an updated version of this one. So their new CNI 2S Pro has a dual band transmission. It can send wirelessly to both a receiver connected to our monitor and to tablets and phones through Wi-Fi. And that's perfect if a lot of people want to look at the shots. It has both SDI and HDMI on both the receiver and transmitter, and the transmission range is up to 360 meters in good conditions, or 1,200 feet if you are used to feet. It also has an interesting feature where you can actually stream your video through a private YouTube link to your client. The latency is just 0.06 seconds, making it great for focus pulling.
And of course we wanted a camera that could shoot really high quality and be easy to grade in post. The Blackmagic 6K Pro actually shoots RAW for a really affordable price and is great to grade with in DaVinci Resolve. There was no doubt this was the camera for this production.
And if you want to see our review of this camera after using it for 5 months, you can press the link in the description after you've seen this episode, of course.
Okay, so this is our Blackmagic 6K Pro rig for the music video. So we have the 6K Pro connected to a V-mount, which also powers the wireless transmission from the S2E6 Pro. So you can see that it has a really short delay on the TV screen in there. And Morten is going to pull focus wirelessly with this wireless focus system, the Nucleus M. So I think this is a really nice and complete rig, which I love.
Since we had just met Alejandra and she didn't have any music videos out there, I wanted to do a test shoot before the real shoot to just see her style, see her energy in front of the camera, and also make her more comfortable with us as a crew before the real shoot.
We used this opportunity to rig up the camera and the studio so it was ready for the day after. And we used black Molton to cover up half of the room and then added light and haze to try to create an atmosphere so it was sort of like the feeling of her being on stage.
Off, and we're starting with the soul spotlight. As she begins to sing and the song fades in, we're going to put on the kickers. And as the chorus begins, we're going to go to effects. We're going to do a paparazzi effect and run those at the same time as Kyle initiates ambient and the overhead. And the overhead is set to an RGB cycle, and the backlight or the ambience is going to be set to some sort of, they trigger our music basically. So that way we're kind of trying to fill the background so we get different layers of light, because we're in the black box and depth is not really on our side right now. So that's the setup.
Okay, so first day of shoot is quite ready already because we were here yesterday. The first day is always a bit stressful, so having prepared as much as possible the day before is good. Matthias is so busy, so I have to say this. The complicated thing about this shoot is that, or this scene, is that it's going to start with a dolly track towards her face, and then it's going to go over to handheld in the same shot. So he has to remove the camera from the tripod and then go over to handheld. So he's trying to figure a way figure a way to do that. Yeah, I hope it works.
Me siento y pienso todo lo que quiero pa' mí. Me doy cuenta que la vida no es fácil. Me hice una lista con lo primero a cumplir, Y es que yo quiero una cuenta con 1000 millones nada más. Mover cadera abajo arriba y contigo nada más.
The low latency on the Action C9 2S Pro certainly made it quite easy to pull the focus wirelessly.
We wanted to do a lot of tracking dolly shots for the story part of the video, and then use handheld for the chorus part. This gives the chorus a lot more impact and also makes the music video more dynamic.
We're gonna have a tracking shot, like through the bar when the main actors come in, and we're gonna pan with the actors like this while we're moving, and we're gonna land in an end position where we reveal like the manager, and we have the main cast over the shoulder, like framing him in.
Sí que lo voy a lograr. Todo lo que me proponga, todo lo que me proponga. Y es que yo quiero una cuenta con 1000 millones nada más. Mover cadera abajo arriba y contigo nada más.
I love being able to improvise stuff. You know, of course you should plan the most important things, but having a little bit of time to use your intuition and not overthink too much, a lot of original ideas comes out. And that's especially perfect for low budget videos and films where you don't have a lot of businessmen like looking at you and like, you have to earn money on this. But to play, have fun, use your intuition, you know, original things comes out. As you can see in the background, we're using Kyle, our lighting assistant, to be an extra in the bar. And also Stian is playing the main male character, and he's my friend. And also using Facundo, our neighbor here at the office, as the businessman. So that's typical low budget tricks, you know, use people you know. Normally you have a set designer making the scene look like it should be in the story. We don't have that now because it's a low budget, so kind of everyone does a little bit. Unimarie is printing out some stuff to have on the walls.
And so the goal is to try and make the set look a little bit more, I guess, personal and real, and something that hopefully she would have in her own bedroom.
What? This looks like a bedroom.
The thing about the story now, it's gonna be like a poor man's flat. You know, in the beginning of an artist's career, you don't have that much money.
Oh my god, that's so next level. I love it. Oh my god.
It's gonna be 4 different days in a single movement of the camera. So we're gonna use a motorized slider from SERP, and we're gonna do 4 different lighting situations, 2 night and 2 daytime. And they're gonna do different stuff, playing guitar, making some music, frustrated. Yeah, we're gonna do, it looks like it's a time-lapse, but with normal motion in a way. We have a lot to do before we go to the studio, the music studio afterwards, so we have to hurry up. Now we're changing from daytime to night, so we're just blocking the windows. Then we can do a lot with the lights in here, making it look like, yeah, it's evening or night.
Having a high quality wireless video signal with wireless control of the lights and a wireless follow focus just really makes things a lot more practical on set.
Now we're going to our next location. One of the actors is a little bit late, so now we just have to like really push the time.
So we are at Kentis studio in Oslo. I know this guy who owns this place. You know, the film industry is all about contacts. So I know this guy. We could borrow this place, just close by our office.
So we're gonna transition from her on the scene, because she's spinning at the end, and then she's gonna start spinning here. And the camera's gonna follow her and go down to the mixing table and dolly track back.
They're quite a small space to work with. The ceiling is very low, which means it's hard to get proper angles on the light. We're basically bathing everything in a reddish color. I hope that's going to go through nicely. And then we have a key light that's going to illuminate on her to retain some sort of contrast, because pure red light kills contrast. So we're trying to do that in here, and out here we have the fourth and last light tube behind there to cast some color contrast between the two rooms. The biggest but most compact softbox I could get to give them some sort of key over at the mixing table. And then a last key light over there with a tiny softbox hitting this position in the couch. That's the setup. So yeah, challenging, but it's going to work.
Okay, og vær så god! We shot everything in 6K RAW with the Blackmagic 6K Pro, and it did not disappoint us. And the small size of the camera makes it easier to film in tight locations.
Sorry. Kjørte på meg selv.
If you had one shot, one opportunity, would you capture it or just let it slip?
Guys, it's a wrap.
Are we satisfied?
We are satisfied.
We are satisfied.
Okay, we are editing the music video, and this is quite interesting because with the new DaVinci Resolve update, you can now edit 3 times faster on DaVinci on a M1 chip MacBook without even having the power cable here, because it's not using a lot of power either. So I just used my SSD, which you also can record directly on from the camera, and then connect it to my Mac. And I can sit on the train on my way home from office editing 6K RAW flawlessly. That's crazy, that's the future. We are here. Fine-tune the shots, the RAW, you can change ISO, everything, and it just flows. Now the music video is done. If you want to check it out, press the link in the description. And in the next episode of Making a Film Company, we will buy a car and turn it into a production car / camper van. Morten knows more about this.
As we had more and more productions, we saw ourselves hiring cars pretty much every week, often for several days a week. And this gets quite expensive, so we thought, hey, why not just buy our own car?
Kim, have you seen the car?
I haven't seen the car at all, so...
Okay. Oi, oi, oi.
If we own a car, why not just customize it to fit our needs perfectly?
We are building the car as we speak, actually. So the episode comes out when the van is ready. So subscribe to stay tuned and press the bell button to get notified when this episode is released. Thank you so much. Ha det bra.